Hello everyone, welcome to Daily English Pro, your place to improve English every single day. Stay focused, listen carefully, and try to repeat after what you hear. Let's get started.
Hello. You are about to embark on a deep dive with us, exploring a topic that is, well, absolutely fundamental to human life.
It really is. It connects us to history, culture, drives these massive global systems.
And impacts the planet in pretty profound ways.
That's right. Today, we're taking a comprehensive look at food and nutrition. It might seem straightforward because, we all eat.
We do. But you dig just a little beneath the surface and wow.
Yeah, you find incredible layers of complexity, huge significance. It touches on everything from, personal well-being right through to international policy.
Exactly. Understanding food and nutrition, it goes way beyond just knowing what maybe you should or shouldn't eat.
Oh, absolutely. It's about grasping how what's on our plate affects our actual health day to day.
And how it shapes our cultural identities too.
Yeah.
Fuels these enormous global economies.
And profoundly influences the environment around us. It's foundational. Foundational to our lives and the world we live in.
And for you, our listener, especially if you're maybe focusing on improving your English for something like the IELTS exam, this particular topic is incredibly high yield.
It really is. It pops up all the time, doesn't it? Writing essays on dietary habits, discussing global food issues in the speaking test.
Or even just understanding texts in reading and listening sections.
Definitely. Having a solid grip on this subject area, and crucially, having the right vocabulary. Well, it gives you a significant edge.
And that's precisely our mission today. We've looked at the material you've shared, and we're going to try and pull out the most crucial insights.
The key facts, the really important terminology.
Yeah, this deep dive is designed to help you navigate the complexities of food and nutrition confidently, get you well informed, quickly,
and build those language skills you need.
So we've structured this deep dive to guide you through the core aspects.
Right. We'll start with the absolute fundamentals, why nutrition is so critical for your health, your well-being.
Then we'll kind of peel back the layers, explore how food is just so deeply woven into our cultures.
After that, we'll examine the complex world of food production, the sustainability challenges there.
Big ones. And the significant issues of accessibility and inequality. That's huge too.
And finally, we'll look ahead to the cutting edge of food technology and innovation.
It's a pretty comprehensive journey, but, stay with us. We're going to unpack all of it for you.
Try and bring the most important points right to the surface.
Okay, so let's begin right at the start. The fundamental importance of nutrition for health.
Right. When we talk about nutrition, what are we really referring to?
Well, at its core, nutrition is the process of how your body takes in and utilizes food.
Okay.
It's kind of the biochemical engine, isn't it? It fuels every single function your body performs.
From blinking to...
Yeah, the simplest act, like blinking, right up to the monumental task of, say, repairing tissue after exercise, or even just thinking complex thoughts. It provides the energy for movement, supports growth childhood through adulthood, and keeps all your internal systems running smoothly.
And that fuel, it comes from breaking down the food we eat into essential components.
Exactly. And these components, they fall into two main buckets, right? The macronutrients and the micronutrients.
Right, macros and micros.
So the macronutrients are the components your body needs in, relatively large amounts.
Okay.
There are three main ones: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
Got it. Carbs, protein, fat.
Carbohydrates, think rice, bread, pasta, other grains. They're primarily your body's go-to source for quick energy.
Quick fuel.
Yeah, they get broken down into glucose, which powers your cells.
And proteins, found in things like meat, fish, poultry, legumes, beans.
Nuts, dairy products.
Yeah.
They're often called the body's building blocks.
Right, for repair.
Vital for building and repairing tissues, exactly. Also producing enzymes, hormones, supporting immune function. Think of them as essential for structure and function, really, throughout your body.
Okay, and then there's fats. Avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil.
Butter, oils from plants or animals. Yeah. Fats often get viewed negatively, don't they?
They really do.
But they're crucial for a whole range of functions. They provide a concentrated source of energy.
Right. More than carbs or protein.
Yeah, per gram. They're essential for absorbing certain vitamins, the fat-soluble ones, play a key role in brain health and development.
Brain health, interesting.
And they're components of cell membranes. But, and this is important, the material really points out the type of fat and the amount consumed that's really important for long-term health.
Absolutely. Not all fats are created equal, right? And moderation seems key.
Definitely.
So beyond the macros, we have the micronutrients, vitamins and mineral.
Right. Needed in much smaller quantities, but they are incredibly powerful, critical for, well, pretty much every bodily process.
You see their impact most clearly when they're missing, don't you?
Totally. Like a lack of vitamin C, you get that from citrus fruits, berries, some veggies.
And historically, that caused scurvy.
Exactly. That debilitating disease that affected sailors on long voyages, remember, no access to fresh stuff.
Yeah, awful. Or iron, found in spinach, red meat, fortified cereals.
A deficiency there is the most common nutritional deficiency globally. Leads to anemia.
Which means fatigue, weakness.
Because your red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen. Basically, vitamins and minerals enable countless biochemical reactions. They prevent these deficiency diseases.
They're like the vital cogs in the machine.
That's a great way to put it. Now, for you, preparing for something like IELTS, being able to discuss this with precise language, huge advantage. Instead of just vague terms, you can talk about the importance of dietary fiber.
Which aids digestion, helps manage blood sugar.
Or antioxidants, those compounds in fruits and vegetables that help protect your cells from damage.
From free radicals, yeah. Or you could discuss caloric intake, total energy consumed versus caloric expenditure, the energy your body uses.
Using this specific topic-related vocabulary, it doesn't just show you know the stuff.
No, it seriously boosts your lexical resource score in the exam. Shows a robust command of language beyond just everyday chat.
Moves you from general conversation to, like, informed discussion.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's connect this essential understanding of nutrition to a major global challenge highlighted in the material: the rise of lifestyle diseases.
Oh, yes. Our increasingly modern way of life. More sedentary jobs, more sitting around.
And a heavier reliance on processed, calorie-dense foods. It's directly fueled an explosion in non-communicable diseases, NCDs.
Right. These are chronic conditions. Not contagious, but often linked directly to diet and lifestyle. We're talking things like obesity,
Type 2 diabetes.
cardiovascular diseases, heart attacks, strokes. The material makes a very clear link.
It does. Diets high in saturated fats, trans fats, refined sugars, staple ingredients, and so much fast food and convenience snacks.
They lead to excessive weight gain, disrupted metabolic function.
And damage to the circulatory system over time.
The statistics are quite alarming, aren't they?
They really are. Global health reports say worldwide obesity rates have more than tripled since 1975.
Tripled. Wow.
And by 2020, a staggering figure. Over 1.9 billion adults classified as overweight, hundreds of millions of those being obese.
That's not just a personal issue, that's a massive public health crisis. It's straining healthcare systems everywhere.
Absolutely. But contrast that stark picture with the evidence supporting diets rich in whole, unprocessed foods.
Right. Lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats.
These dietary patterns are consistently shown to dramatically reduce the risk of developing these NCDs.
And the material points to the Mediterranean diet as a prime example.
Yeah, the Mediterranean diet is fascinating. It's less a strict diet and more a traditional eating pattern, right?
Exactly. From countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea, it features olive oil heavily as the main fat source.
Daily consumption of veggies, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds.
Moderate amounts of fish and poultry, lower amounts of red meat and sweets.
And it often includes social eating, physical activity. It's a whole lifestyle package, really.
And the research linking this pattern to better cardiovascular health, reduced risk of type 2 diabetes, increased longevity. It's very compelling.
It really is. Now, understanding these links, it provides powerful arguments for discussions, especially in IELTS essays.
Right, where you might be asked about government intervention or public health.
Exactly. You can argue, drawing on this, for policies like, say, taxes on sugary drinks to discourage consumption.
Or mandating clearer, easier to understand nutritional labeling on food products.
The idea being these interventions help make the healthier choice the easier choice for people, directly addressing obesity, potentially lowering long-term healthcare costs.
And this is where using that specific vocabulary becomes really effective again.
For sure. Terms like public health campaigns, preventive healthcare, or lifestyle interventions. They show you can discuss potential solutions with precision.
Imagine an essay question about the government's role in health. You can deploy these concepts effectively. Talk about promoting healthier habits, maybe subsidizing access to nutritious food.
Okay, so moving slightly from those established guidelines, The past few years have seen a huge increase in talk around various emerging dietary trends.
Oh yeah, the material mentions a few big ones. Veganism, the keto diet, intermittent fasting.
Veganism, for many, it's driven by ethics, right? Animal welfare, environmental concerns.
Plus perceived health benefits. It involves completely eliminating all animal products. No meat, fish, dairy, eggs, even honey.
Relies solely on plant-based sources.
Yep.
Requires careful planning, though, to get enough of certain nutrients like B12, iron, calcium.
Definitely needs attention. Then you have the keto diet, which is quite different.
Very different. Very high fat, moderate protein, extremely low carb.
The goal for many is ketosis, where the body switches from burning carbs to burning fat for energy, often for weight loss.
But it's restrictive. Needs careful monitoring to avoid nutrient deficiencies or other health issues.
True. And then there's intermittent fasting. More an eating pattern than a diet about what you eat.
Right, cycling between periods of voluntary fasting and non-fasting.
Popular methods like 168 fasting, 16 hours, eating in an 8-hour window, or 5.2, eating normally 5 days, restricting calories on 2 non-consecutive days.
Proponents point to potential benefits for metabolic health, blood sugar control, weight management.
These trends offer really fertile ground for discussion and debate, perfect for an IELTS context.
You can weigh up the potential benefits claimed versus the challenges or risks.
Exactly. When discussing veganism, you can use terms like sustainable diets or ethical consumption.
For keto or other restrictive diets, vocabulary around nutritional balance, nutrient density, or dietary restrictions becomes really relevant.
Let's make this more concrete. How does this apply directly to your IELTS prep, using the examples from the material?
Okay, take a typical writing task 2 question. Some people believe governments should regulate the food industry to promote healthy eating. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Okay. Drawing on the arguments suggested, you build a balanced response. On one side, argue for regulation. Cite the public health crisis, obesity, NCDs we discussed.
Use examples like the sugar tax idea or mandatory clear labeling. The argument is, market forces alone aren't enough for public health. Government intervention is needed to nudge people, mitigate societal health costs.
But a balanced essay needs the counter-argument. Emphasize personal freedom, individual responsibility.
Right. Adults should be free to choose. Instead of regulation, focus on public education campaigns. Empower people with knowledge to make informed choices themselves. No government dictating.
So a high-scoring essay presents both views clearly, supports them with ideas from the material health benefits of regulation versus personal liberty, power of education.
Then conclude with a nuanced position. Maybe suggest a multi-pronged approach. Some targeted regulations plus robust education might be most effective.
And using those linking phrases is key. However, on the other hand, while this is true, show contrast, concession.
Good point. Now moving to speaking, imagine a part 2 cue card. Describe a healthy meal you enjoy eating.
The sample response is a great model. Start by naming the meal maybe a simple, vibrant salad.
Then describe its components in detail, highlighting why each is healthy, like lean chicken for protein, quinoa for complex carbs and fiber.
Healthy fats from avocado or nuts for brain function, lots of colorful veggies for vitamins and minerals.
Explain how you prepare it. Maybe emphasize it's homemade, so you control ingredients, avoid excess salt or unhealthy fats. Mention fresh, local, organic, maybe.
Crucially, explain why you enjoy it beyond just taste. Does it make you feel energized, satisfied, supports health goals?
That level of specific description, linking food to nutrition and lifestyle, shows fluency and elaboration skills.
Then in part 3, the examiner might ask something more analytical, like, why do some people prefer unhealthy foods?
This needs thinking about factors beyond just health knowledge. The material suggests focusing on convenience, palatability, socioeconomic factors.
Explain that unhealthy foods, especially fast food, processed snacks, are incredibly convenient. Quick, easy, no prep needed for busy lives.
Palatability is huge too. These foods are often engineered to be hyper-appealing. Optimal sugar, salt, fat combos make them hard to resist for some.
They're significantly socioeconomic factors, often overlooked. Unhealthy, calorie-dense foods are frequently cheaper than fresh produce, lean meats, whole grains.
So for people facing financial constraints, these less nutritious options are more accessible, more affordable. A necessity, not just a preference sometimes.
You could even suggest potential solutions. Government initiatives subsidizing healthy foods, making fresh produce more available in underserved areas.
See, By understanding these underlying reasons, you move beyond a simple answer. You give a much more nuanced, insightful response. Shows critical thinking.
Okay, this naturally leads us to our next big area: food and cultural identity. Food isn't just biological necessity, is it?
Not at all. It's deeply intertwined with who we are, where we come from, our collective histories.
It really acts as a powerful cultural symbol. Traditional dishes aren't random. They reflect history, values, religion, environment, climate, local ingredients.
Think about Japanese sushi. The precision, the artistry. It speaks to a culture valuing detail, aesthetics, connection to the sea.
Or the incredible diversity of Indian curries. The complex spices, vast regional variations. Reflects history, trade, diverse landscapes, centuries of culinary evolution tied to local identity.
Or Mexican cuisine, the centrality of corn. Tortillas, tamales. Maize cultivation goes back thousands of years. Bedrock of ancient civilizations.
These dishes carry that legacy, connect modern Mexicans to their ancestral past.
Being able to discuss this, maybe describe a traditional dish from your background using terms like culinary heritage, gastronomic traditions, cultural symbolism, adds wonderful depth.
Shows fluency and cultural awareness, connecting abstract concepts to concrete examples.
But this rich tapestry of traditions is facing big impacts from globalization. The material highlights a kind of dual effect.
On one hand, the undeniable spread of global fast food chains. McDonald's, KFC, Starbucks, they're everywhere.
Offer consistency, affordability, convenience, resonates with busy urban populations.
But this convenience often costs traditional eating patterns and health. The material mentions China's rise of Western fast food contributing to decline in traditional rice-based meals.
Shift towards diets higher in processed stuff, sugar, unhealthy fats, mirrors health issues seen elsewhere, can lead to homogenization, weakening local practices.
Yet globalization also fosters vibrant culinary exchange. Fusion cuisine emerges.
Right. Chefs, home cooks, blending ingredients, techniques, flavors from different traditions, creating something new.
The sushi burrito example sounds novel, but represents a broader trend. Cross-cultural borrowing, innovation. It's not just domination, it's blending, adapting.
So you have this fascinating tension. Globalization can mean cultural homogenization, same brands everywhere, diluting unique traditions.
But it can also mean cultural enrichment. Exciting new flavors, mixing culinary ideas. Makes for a really interesting, complex topic for an IELTS essay. Explore both sides.
And recognizing the risk of losing unique heritage, there are efforts globally to preserve these traditions.
Yeah, initiatives like culinary festivals showcasing regional dishes, slow food movements emphasizing traditional methods, local ingredients.
Publishing heritage cookbooks, too, recording recipes before they're lost, keeping skills alive for future generations.
And it's increasingly recognized globally. UNESCO, for example, has recognized cuisines like French gastronomy, traditional Mexican cuisine, as intangible cultural heritage.
Like historical sites or crafts, highlights food knowledge as a valuable cultural asset worth preserving.
Discussing these efforts shows awareness of global cultural dynamics, value of diversity, using terms like indigenous cuisines, culinary diversity, cultural preservation, makes your language more precise, sophisticated.
Okay, let's apply this. IELTS writing task 2. Globalization has led to the spread of fast food affecting traditional diets. Is this a positive or negative development?
Right. Balanced discussion. Positive side. Acknowledge benefits like affordability, convenience from fast food, especially for urbanizing populations. We mentioned wider availability of global cuisines as cultural exchange.
But dedicate significant space to the negatives. Health issues, obesity, diabetes, erosion of traditional practices, loss of unique recipes, weakening cultural identity tied to food.
Conclude by weighing points, maybe suggesting mitigating actions. Promote local food, support traditional markets, incorporate traditional cooking in education, show critical analysis, pose solutions.
Or speaking part 3, how has food culture changed in your country over the past few decades?
Contrast traditional versus modern. Describe a traditional meal, maybe slow cooked at home, local ingredients. Then discuss changes, urbanization, busy lifestyles, globalization leading to more eating out, fast food, international options.
Discuss the impact. Shift from home cooking, decline in recipe knowledge, health implications.
Finally, mention preservation efforts in your country. Festivals, classes, support for traditional producers, shows analysis of trends, causes, effects, cultural dynamics.
Okay, shifting gears now. Let's look at where our food actually comes from, food production, and the huge challenge of making it sustainable.
Modern agriculture has changed dramatically, driven by feeding a growing population.
The dominant model is often called industrial agriculture, Large-scale monoculture, vast fields of one crop, widespread use of GMOs.
Aimed at maximizing output, efficiency, uses heavy machinery, synthetic fertilizers, chemical pesticides.
Incredibly effective at boosting productivity, but often comes with serious downsides. Soil depletion, water pollution, reduced biodiversity.
In contrast, organic farming, different philosophy, avoids synthetic chemicals, relies on natural methods like crop rotation, composting, aims for ecological balance.
Appealing, but scaling it up to meet global demand.
Challenging, lower yield sometimes, higher costs maybe. When discussing this in IELTS, key vocab: agricultural productivity, efficiency, sustainable farming, long-term eco-friendly, food security, access for all.
And the environmental footprint of food production. It's massive. The material really underlines this.
Consider livestock. Raising animals for meat, milk, eggs accounts for about 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions, mostly methane from cattle, nitrous oxide from manure fertilizers, potent climate change contributors.
Deforestation, too. Huge issue. Forests cleared for grazing land or crops like soy used for animal feed destroys habitats, reduces biodiversity, releases stored carbon, accelerates climate change.
And water usage. Agriculture is the biggest user of fresh water globally.
Right.
Crops like rice need vast amounts, contributing to water scarcity.
The material suggests addressing this needs shifts in production and consumption.
Right. Moving towards more plant-based diets, generally much lower carbon footprint than meat, dairy heavy diets. That's one potential solution.
Another is promoting practices like regenerative agriculture. Focuses on rebuilding soil health, increasing biodiversity, sequestering carbon in the soil, making farming part of the solution.
These points are vital for discussing sustainability. Vocabulary like carbon footprint, ecological balance, sustainable practices, essential tools. You might be asked about the environmental impact of diet or farming.
Beyond environmental issues, there are important ethical considerations too. Animal welfare in intensive farming, labor conditions for agricultural workers.
Yeah, factory farms often have animals in extremely confined conditions, prioritizing profit over well-being. Raises ethical questions for consumers, moral responsibility debates.
And labor conditions. Farm work is often tough, poorly paid, exploitation especially for migrant workers or in developing countries.
Initiatives like fair trade certification try to address this, ensure fair wages, safe conditions, tackling historical inequalities in global supply chains. These ethical layers add nuance to discussions.
Okay, let's think IELTS writing again. Task 2. Some people believe reducing meat consumption is essential for environmental sustainability. Discuss both views and give your opinion.
Balanced argument needed. Argue for reducing meat consumption, environmental benefits, greenhouse gases, deforestation, water use. Shifting to plant-based diets lowers personal impact.
But present the alternative. Meat is significant in many cultures, traditions. Livestock industry, crucial economically, providing livelihoods globally. Radical shift faces cultural, economic hurdles, hard in the short term.
Conclude acknowledging benefits of reduction, but also social economic realities. Maybe argue for promoting sustainable livestock practices, reducing food waste, making plant-based options more accessible, affordable as complementary strategies.
Makes sense. And in speaking part 1, simpler question, do you think people should change their eating habits for the environment?
Could respond positively. Reference carbon footprint, resource use. Yes, I think it's important eating less meat or choosing local produce can help reduce our carbon footprint. Maybe add a thought on education, helping people make sustainable choices.
Okay, moving from how food's grown. Let's turn to a critical issue of social justice: food accessibility and inequality.
Despite huge advances in production, disparities in access remain a major global challenge.
It's deeply troubling. Even with abundant food, over 800 million people globally suffer from food insecurity. No consistent, reliable access to enough safe, nutritious food.
Particularly severe in regions like sub-Saharan Africa, parts of Asia, high vulnerability.
Causes are complex, interacting. Chronic poverty is primary limits ability to afford food.
Conflict, political instability disrupt production, damage infrastructure, displace people, cut off supplies.
And increasingly, climate change. More extreme weather, droughts, floods, heat waves causing crop failures, unpredictable yields.
This stark reality contrasts sharply with affluent nations, where food waste is a huge problem.
Right. Estimates suggest around 30% of all food produced globally is lost or wasted annually, much of it in wealthier countries at consumer retail level, while millions elsewhere lack enough. Profound disconnect, distribution issue.
When discussing these disparities in IELTS, key vocab: malnutrition, Lack of proper nutrition. Food deserts. Areas with limited access to healthy options, often low income. Equitable distribution. Fair allocation.
Addressing this needs a range of solutions working together. The material suggests subsidizing staple crops like rice, wheat in vulnerable regions makes basics affordable.
Improving supply chain logistics, better roads, storage, transport, gets food from farms to markets efficiently.
Supporting community gardens, local food initiatives empowers communities to produce some of their own food.
While international aid and food banks offer crucial emergency relief, they're often short-term fixes.
Right. Long-term strategies are paramount. Investing in local agriculture in food-insecure regions, giving farmers resources, training, infrastructure to boost productivity, resilience, helping communities build sustainable food systems.
In IELTS responses proposing solutions, you can use terms showing deeper understanding. Food sovereignty, rights of people to healthy, culturally appropriate food via sustainable methods, define their own systems.
Agricultural resilience ability of farming systems to withstand shocks like climate change. Global cooperation need for international efforts for a problem transcending borders.
Let's dig into the socioeconomic factors within countries. Material links food access closely to broader disparities.
Low-income communities often face an unfair choice. Financial constraints mean relying on cheaper, calorie-dense, low-nutrient foods because they're affordable, accessible.
This directly contributes to higher rates of diet-related health issues, obesity, diabetes in these populations, a cycle of poor health linked to poverty.
Worsened by urban food deserts, geographic areas, often poorer neighborhoods or rural spots, with limited access to supermarkets selling fresh, healthy food.
People there often travel far, rely on convenience stores, fast food outlets offering processed, unhealthy choices, makes a nutritious diet incredibly difficult, expensive.
Discussing these factors shows sophisticated awareness. Food issues aren't just about farming or choice, they're embedded in larger social economic systems, systemic inequality.
Let's link this to IELTS. Writing task 2. What are the causes of global food inequality and how can they be addressed?
Structure by detailing causes first. Systemic poverty limits purchasing power, farming resources. Inefficient distribution prevents food reaching needy, even if supply exists. Climate challenges, droughts. Floods disproportionately affect vulnerable farmers.
Then propose solutions. Subsidize agriculture in developing nations. Invest in infrastructure, roads, storage. Crucially, tackle food waste in affluent countries, frees up resources, reduces pressure. Mention aid, but emphasize sustainable investment in local capacity.
Okay. And speaking part 3, why do some countries have more food than others?
Explain contributing factors. Economic development, wealthier nations invest in tech, infrastructure, research, higher productivity, better storage, transport. Political stability, conflict disrupts farming, distribution. Climate conditions, natural fertility, weather patterns matter, though tech helps.
Elaborate. Wealthier nations have advanced practices, efficient supply chains, can import food. Poorer nations may lack infrastructure, tech, stability, more vulnerable. Aid helps, but building local capacity, resilience is key for long-term security.
Right. Our final major section looks ahead. Food technology and innovation. Technology's impact on how we produce, process, consume food is growing profoundly.
Some truly transformative tech emerging. Material highlights lab-grown meat, vertical farming, precision agriculture.
Lab-grown meat, or cultured meat, produced from animal cells in a lab, bypasses raising, slaughtering animals. Huge potential for reducing environmental impact, lower emissions, land water use.
But faces challenges. Cost effectiveness for mass production, and consumer acceptance concept is still new, maybe a bit strange for many.
Vertical farming. Growing crops in stacked layers, controlled indoor environments, often urban, maximizes space, uses much less water, hydroponics, aeroponics, year-round production.
But needs significant energy for lighting, climate control, can be expensive.
Precision agriculture. Uses drones, sensors, GPS, AI to collect data on crop soil. Allows farmers to optimize resources. Water, fertilizer, pesticides applying only where needed.
Increases efficiency, improves yields, reduces waste, minimizes environmental impact compared to traditional methods.
Discussing these in IELTS, precise terms help. Biotechnology, like cell cultivation. Sustainable production, methods not depleting resources. Broader term, food tech, shows familiarity.
But success isn't just about tech capability. Consumer perceptions, building trust are huge.
Acceptance of innovations like GMOs or newer synthetic lab foods varies hugely. Public concerns often center on safety. Are they healthy long-term?
Taste and texture, too, do they match traditional foods? And ethical concerns, are they natural, morally acceptable? Big hurdles.
Overcoming skepticism needs transparency. Clear, honest labeling about production is essential for informed choice. Public education explaining the science, benefits, addressing concerns directly is crucial.
Discussing consumer behavior with terms like public perception, ethical concerns, technological adoption adds depth to arguments about the future of food.
Looking even further ahead, more futuristic prospects. 3D printed food? Blockchain for supply chain transparency.
3D printed food. Specialized printers, food inks, create items layer by layer. Potential for customized nutrition, specific textures, using alternative proteins like insects, algae.
Blockchain. Known for crypto, but explored for food supply chains. Immutable, decentralized ledger tracks food farm to consumer. Could improve traceability, food safety, identifying contamination sources quickly, give verified origin info.
Fascinating topics for exploring futuristic ideas in IELTS. Use phrases like innovative solutions, food system resilience, ability to withstand disruptions, technological integration to discuss how these might address future challenges feeding growing populations sustainably, ensuring global food safety. Let's practice. IELTS writing task 2. To what extent should technology be used to solve food production challenges?
Acknowledge benefits first. Vertical farming, lab-grown meat offers solutions for increasing supply, reducing environmental footprint, address scarcity, resource depletion, precision ag improves efficiency, sustainability.
But present challenges. High initial costs, less accessible for small farmers, developing regions, public skepticism, ethical concerns are significant hurdles to adoption.
Conclude with balance. Tech holds promise, but needs investment in research, public education to make solutions affordable, accessible, acceptable. Ensure responsible implementation, benefit for all.
And speaking part 2, cue card. Describe a new food technology you've heard about that you think is interesting.
Use the lab-grown meat example. Describe it simply meat grown from cells, not animals. Explain why interesting potential environmental benefits, less land water, ethical appeal, no harm to animals.
Discuss benefits again, but also challenges current high cost. Seems strange to some. Taste texture questions. Finish discussing future potential, acceptance, role of public awareness, taste improvement.
Wow, we've covered a huge amount of ground today.
We really have. Spanning nutrients, global cultures, production systems, environmental impacts, inequality, future tech.
As you can see, food and nutrition is far from simple. It's this deeply complex, interconnected web. Personal health, cultural history, global economics, environment, social justice, science.
So for your IELTS prep, mastering this means building that strong knowledge base across these areas.
Understanding nutrition basics, appreciating food's cultural role, aware of production sustainability challenges, recognizing access and inequality issues, discussing future tech.
And crucially, equipping yourself with that specific topic-related vocabulary we've highlighted.
Using those precise terms allows you to express ideas with greater clarity, accuracy, sophistication. Boost confidence, boost your score.
Remember to practice structuring responses, writing and speaking using the examples we outlined. Plan essays, use clear topic sentences, support arguments, ensure smooth transitions.
For speaking, use prep time wisely. Structure your answer, whether describing a meal or analyzing an issue. Try to incorporate new vocab naturally.
Don't shy away from practice essays on trickier topics, government regulation, tech-solving shortages. Actively practice speaking about different facets, traditional dishes, environmental impact, food waste solutions.
Reading articles, watching documentaries on nutrition, agriculture, sustainability, global food issues. Fantastic way to build vocab, deepen understanding.
This deep dive aimed to give you the insights, vocab, strategic frameworks to approach food and nutrition questions confidently, in exams, conversations, or just reflecting on your own plate.
By exploring these themes, applying these strategies, you show language proficiency and ability to engage with complex, real-world issues critically.
So after unpacking all these layers, nutrients fueling you, cultural stories in food, global systems bringing it, challenges of access, potential of innovation, here's a final thought for you to chew on.
How does understanding this immense complexity change the way you think about the food on your own plate today? Or maybe your perspective on the wider food systems around the world?
Ask yourself, which aspect, health impact, cultural connection, environmental footprint, access and inequality, future tech, do you find most compelling?
Or perhaps, which aspect do you think is most in need of change or innovation in the world today?
It's definitely a lot to think about. Hopefully this deep dive has provided valuable insights and tools.
Thank you so much for joining us on this extensive exploration of food and nutrition.
Yes, thank you. We hope it has been incredibly valuable for you.
If you found this deep dive helpful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Your support really helps us create more content like this to help you learn English.